Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. If you feel this today, you're shifting on a rapid pace. Something incredible is happening, my friends. Do you feel today's full moon? Do you feel its energy in the zodiac sign of Aquarius? Because I found out with this full moon that there's something truly powerful in the air. Something truly powerful is happening, and I want to give you a few signs you may experience with this full moon. And if you want to get more information about it, yesterday I've shared a complete video which is more insightful, like what it's all about, what kind of energy it is bringing. And today I want to bring you some signs you may experience with this new energy. And also with today's video I'm sharing with you my latest painting, which I finished yesterday. In the yesterday's video I've mentioned that I was painting it all day long. I felt truly driven to finish it, and there's a beautiful story which comes with this painting. Actually, it was ordered as a gift for somebody's 60th birthday, but the request was to do it in my way, to paint whatever I feel for that person, which was to me really beautiful and just at that special time. So never before it happened that I've painted such a painting in one day. But like I said, I was truly driven for it. So later I will share a story which comes with that painting. Every time I finish a painting, I receive a message which comes with it, like a download. So I write it down, it happens immediately, and I will share it with you. The Tree of Wisdom is the name of it and why it is related to today's video. So firstly, you may feel right now a need to forgive someone or something. And the reason for that is because the full moon in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, Aquarius is all about truth. It's all about inner and outer connection. It's about clarifying the path so the connection may be clear. Like you would have problems with a Wi-Fi signal, and firstly you would make sure if the connection with the electricity and everything is well, if if everything works well, and then you would gain a greater clarity of where's the problem maybe. And it's same in our lives. Firstly, we look within and we ask ourselves, where's the problem that I still feel the way I feel? I still feel a certain guilt or resentment, or I'm still afraid of something or somebody, or talking with somebody, or expressing my emotions with that person. Or I still sense a lot of anger towards that event in my past. It's time to move on and to fully let go and release the tension. And in order to release the tension, we need to forgive. We are forgiving to ourselves. And the first step to forgive is to admit to yourself that you feel something. Because I truly don't like to see when people say, yeah, I've completely I've let go of that, but I can feel and I can see that they are still in such a pain. And often we're lying to ourselves that we've dealt with something, that we've outgrown it, but still we sense so much pain towards it, so much anger. So it's never fully released until we feel free, until we feel lighter. That's why it's so important to fully recognize how you still feel about that certain event. And it's all okay if you still feel anger towards it, if you still feel pain or fear or whatever you sense. Pay attention to it, admit to yourself, because when we admit something, we become more honest with ourselves. And that's where we figure out what we'll do with that. So stop lying to yourself and be completely honest with you. That's what Aquarius is encouraging you right now. Be honest with yourself. Be true to yourself, because that's where you're practicing to be honest and true with others. That's what is building greater communities, because the world is built on dishonesty, on lying to one another just because we're afraid to admit how we really feel about people around us, how we really feel about certain things, and how we think about certain things. And in order to build greater honesty and truth on the world, we firstly need to build that great honesty and truth with ourselves. So start within you and start with yourself. It's time to become your best friend to yourself, and it's time to get yourself in that great alignment where you will sense nothing but honesty for yourself. Every time when you will experience triggers, admit to yourself, be honest with yourself, what you feel, how you feel, what's happening, what triggered you, it's all okay, and then deal with it. When we admit something, we experience an insight or an idea what to do with that, okay? What to do? Do I need to meditate? Do I need to talk with somebody? Do I need to call somebody? Do I need to journal a little bit? Do I need to be alone? Whatever it is, that's where we start respecting ourselves and we start listening to ourselves and honoring ourselves. So pay attention to that. If you feel like you need to forgive someone or something, pay close attention to it, because that's where you will experience a great release. When we say that this full moon is bringing us a powerful energy, that's how you can sense it. That's one way. The second sign you may experience is that a cycle of evolution has reached its culminating point, and it's time to harvest what you've planted. So you may sense a feeling of easiness, like your manifestations are coming or are almost here, like you could almost see them. You feel its presence, your life is shifting, that right people are coming into your life. You see the synchronicities, you see the signs. Maybe manifestation is not present yet, but you sense that your evolution has reached its culminating point. This is actually a truly beautiful moment where we just know that everything is aligning, everything is working for us. Like our roots are deeply grounded, our mind is open, our heart is open, and we feel at peace with ourselves. And this is truly a beautiful state to be in, being in peace with ourselves, where we just observe, okay, things are happening, things are moving, but I'm okay. I'm okay with myself, I love myself, I love where I am, and I know that everything is working in my greater good. That's truly a beautiful state to be in. If you sense that your evolution has reached its culminating point, expect some beautiful miracles finding you, expect manifestations finding you, expect beautiful events coming to you completely unexpectedly, completely in unfamiliar ways. Things will find you and you will not be able to believe that actually everything can work so well. So, my friends, express gratitude. If you sense it, express gratitude. If you don't sense it, you will get there. Express gratitude. Gratitude is like a state, a vibration, which helps us to push ourselves forward completely naturally, to flow with the flow of nature, with the flow of the universe. Gratitude helps us to realign ourselves and to raise our energy, and you already know that. The third sign you may experience with this full moon is that you feel that you've learned the lessons from your karmic cycles, and this one is really powerful. Why? So, what are karmic cycles? Karmic cycles are the cycles we've come here to deal with them, to learn the lessons from them and to overcome them, to end certain cycles which may be toxic, which may be painful or unpleasant. So if you look back maybe into your family, you may recognize that certain cycles are constantly repeating in your family. It may be something related to poverty, it may be something related to relationships, like dealing with unpleasant relationships or dealing with similar relationships. maybe in your partnership, maybe with your coworkers or friends or your boss or whatever it is. Often those cycles are manifested in relationships or in our finances, and they can also be manifested in our health, the way we experience health or unhealthiness, or how to say. And if you are experiencing those karmic cycles, that's what's happening. Those are the cycles which are teaching us certain lessons, but often it's really hard to find the lessons. That's why the cycles are repeating. They're teaching us. But once we get to the point when we can say, okay, I've learned the lesson. And when you've learned the lesson, it means that it's still not finished. The cycle is still not broken until you start applying lessons you've learned. Once we start applying lessons we've learned, we start taking or making new choices. We start making new decisions. And new decisions will start making new results. That's where we start taking new action. So what it means? Let's say that we are coming from a family which was always living in poverty. But if we observe closely this family, we may recognize that each part of this family has adopted unhealthy habits when it comes to how we spend most of our free time, how we are treating ourselves, how well we know what are our dreams and goals for the future, how much we are passionate about shifting our lives and doing what we truly love. And even if we have that clarity over what we would love to do, how well we are changing our behaviors in order to do more of what we are passionate about and to reach our goals. Because once we take care of that, we shift our mindset, we change our behaviors, we overcome certain emotional blocks which may remind us why we can't do something, why we shouldn't follow our dreams, why we are not talented enough or we are not brave enough. We overcome those emotions by great self-awareness, self-observation, and realization that we are not our emotions. Our emotions may be records from the past, maybe byproducts of our past experiences, but they are not us. If we sense something from the past, it doesn't mean that we should bring it into our future. And whatever we sense right now, we can overcome it. We can learn from it and overcome it. And that's the reason and the purpose of the karmic cycles. Learn to overcome what is not serving you. So, coming from a family which had a karmic cycle, a poverty is constantly repeating, means that firstly we recognize the lesson. Okay, I need to change how I'm behaving. I need to gain greater clarity about what I'm actually passionate about and what brings me the greatest possible joy and love. And I need to design habits which will allow me to do more of that, so I can create new results which will be based on greater joy, greater love, greater passion. And when we do things with love and passion for something that is important to us, of course results will find us. And one beautiful thing as well that happens with that is when we are passionate about something, it doesn't feel like it's work. It feels like it's our lifestyle. We are doing that because we love to do that. And suddenly opportunities will find you, doors will open, and you will start walking completely different timeline. And that's where you break an old karmic cycle of poverty and you enter into an age of abundance for yourself. That's an evolution which brought you to a great wisdom of how to shift your life. So this is something you may feel right now that is happening in your life. Like you feel that you've learned the lessons from your karmic cycles and it's time to move on. Aquarius is all about finding the path which is in a greater alignment with yourself. Which means that you don't want to walk anymore on the path which just doesn't feel right, which just doesn't feel supportive to your soul. That's why you feel called so loudly to make certain necessary changes. Pay attention to that. The fourth sign, which may come to you with this full moon, is a greater clarity over your life's purpose. This one is actually related to the previous sign, but actually finding out what we truly feel called to do. And purpose is often can be misunderstood, because purpose is something we create, but it's coming from something we feel. Right? For me, I often explain it that way. My purpose is to bring message to people. My purpose is to be like a messenger. And sometimes I do it through art, sometimes I do it through videos, sometimes I'm writing. I bring message through a certain text, writing. I like writing short quotes, which I'm posting them on Instagram page, AttractPassion. I love to do that. I love to be the messenger. And that's my purpose. That's my mission. So the core mission of this purpose is to be a messenger. That's the core mission. But purpose may also change, right? I can have a phase in my life where I will be just painting. And I had a phase in my life where I was not painting for more months. I was just filming videos, and I love to do that. And I had phase in my life where I was writing a lot. I've almost finished a book, and I need to, to move on with that as well. I put it into a pause state, and I will move on with that as well. So we have different phases. In different phases, the sense of purpose may be different, but the core mission will always stay the same. For me, it is being a messenger. So if you're gaining greater clarity over your life's purpose or your life's mission, your soul mission, it is a beautiful time to truly reflect what you sense about it, write it down, where you feel naturally drawn to, and what is happening truly. Is there maybe certain synchronicities in your life right now are kind of reminding you what you should pay attention to more of? Maybe you've started seeing quotes about purpose all over the place. And it may be a beautiful sign that you are becoming more aware of your purpose. So stop distracting yourself and pay attention to what's your calling. Because it's so loud right now that you can't ignore it anymore. But if you're still distracting yourself from it, it's a beautiful time to get back to you and ground yourself a little bit. So be aware of that. And the fifth sign that this full moon may remind you of is a greater understanding of relationships in your life. Because Aquarius, it's a beautiful sign which is reminding us of our connection with one another, of the web of life. As I was talking yesterday, on the web of life, we are all connected. Each cell is connected, each atom is connected. Everything is connected, which means that we are connected. When I'm thinking something, I may be thinking something that you're thinking right now. And, telepathically, we are all connected. That's why when we're talking about collective consciousness, how we think has a huge power to it. And when more and more people are shifting the way they think, collective consciousness is shifting, which means that somebody which was never interested into a self-growth or a self-search path may suddenly come across a book which can bring to that person a completely new approach to life, or new way of how he or she could approach his or her life. And it may be a wake-up call for that person. And it is a byproduct of maybe your change in your mindset. So That's why it's important to understand that all the relationships in our lives have a huge meaning. Huge meaning. And doesn't matter how beautiful they are or how painful they are, we need to realize their meaning in our lives. Because if a certain person is so present in your life that you've gained a certain, or you've built a certain relationship with that person, there's more to it than just a random conversation. There's a soul connection. There's something you need to learn from that person, or there's something you're still holding back. You're not fully honest. You're not fully true with that person. And that's how we are overcoming certain emotional blocks. That's how we are overcoming triggers and actually learning more about the triggers, because triggers are unpleasant. But as I mentioned at the beginning, I think with forgiveness, it's not always easy. Sometimes it's really hard. But because we're not doing that, we've made everything we've made in the society, in the world right now, as we see what's the situation. It's the byproduct of our misunderstanding of our powers, how powerful we actually are, and we truly are. And gaining greater understanding of relationships in our life can also help us to understand ourselves better, because you may realize that every time you heal something from your past, you also understand people around you better. When you're dealing with certain fears, and once we overcome fears, suddenly we see fear in those people around us. Suddenly we see that people are dealing with same emotional unpleasant pains as we are dealing with. Just that in the past we thought that we are weird and different and there's something wrong with us. But once we start digging deeper, we recognize everybody's hurt. Everybody's dealing with certain emotional wounds and certain traumas and certain painful experiences. We are all hurt, and we are all here with a great purpose to heal ourselves. And through relationships, we learn so much more about ourselves than we would learn just with ourselves. That's why we have relationships, and that's why we are social creatures, to help one another, to uplift one another. That's why it's so important to be honest. Even if sometimes we are afraid that if we will be honest, we will lose somebody. We will, push away somebody. But in 99%, when we are honest, just the opposite happens. That person will open up as well, and connection will become even stronger, or healing will take place. The tension will be released, and suddenly we will feel lighter, and that person will feel lighter, and the world will feel lighter. So if you're gaining greater understanding of your relationships, maybe it can trigger a deep conversations, a beautiful thing. Aquarius is actually all about these deep conversations as well, so pay attention to that. And as we're coming to the end, I want to read a story that I've written with this painting that you're watching today. So the story goes like that. On the clouds of the universe resides the tree of wisdom, which is a symbol of peace, serenity, growth, and development. Many times people get caught up in a misunderstanding of time, where we define aging process as the slow loss of youth. But we forget that by losing youth, we are gaining wisdom. Thus, nature constantly takes care of the balance. Only because of time, we can experience so many beautiful moments that remind us of the wonder of joy and love. And of course, also difficult times that help us to grow and learn. Therefore, time is not our enemy, but a friend on the path of our own development and quest for wisdom. Of course, everything is fleeting, so we lose something we once had. But with an act of losing, we slowly open the door to something new. Like a tree releases its leaves each season, and with that makes room for new ones in the upcoming new season. The majestic trunk reminds us of our stability and willpower, which helped us to get through difficult moments. And because of deep roots, we never really forget who we truly are. May this painting remind you that whenever you lose something, you're also gaining something more valuable. When you think you're not enough, you've forgotten about your roots, but you never left them behind. When you're sad that something is over, you're also planting seeds for your future. Everything in nature has always two sides, and our perspective will determine on which one we stand. So, my friends, I hope anything from here is resonating with you. I hope it can inspire you to make certain necessary changes that you feel you need to make, and let me know in the comment section how it inspired you, what this painting represents to you, or how you feel about this present energy. To me, I truly feel right now so connected with myself, so connected with nature, and I've also experienced recently so many people, as I'm talking with people, are opening up, like people which never before opened up are opening up and becoming more honest. And I sense like all the relationships in my life are deepening and becoming more pure. So I hope it is happening to you as well, and I'm wishing you all the best on that path of, as I mentioned before, path of our own development and quest for wisdom. So this is it for today, my friends. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. The prints are also now available in our Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. Feel free to check it out. Also check out my Instagram page, AttractPassion, where I'm sharing daily messages, and I Draw My Passion, where I'm sharing my art with you. And till next time, my friends, one love.